Of course, it is fun to play dress up for a night. Take a look at this pic of the CBS News White House press team in our Saturday best. But the weekend is about more than just the fancy parties, you guys. This is a celebration of the First Amendment, really.
It was a beautiful celebration of some very important things, but also a party, right? It
definitely was a party.
Yeah, it really just is a party. After watching a lot of the coverage of the White House Correspondents Dinner, we regret to inform you that it was even more pathetic than we predicted it would be. And that's hard because, as you can see from just a short clip on Friday's show about this weekend's self-aggrandizing, navel-gazing by the quote-unquote premier journalists of our time, we set the bar extraordinarily low. This now is the White House Correspondents Association explaining itself on its website as being a group of journalists who, quote, share the belief that an independent news media is vital to the health of the republic. There's one word in that statement that is really important, which is independent. And if the media was indeed independent of the White House, dare I say adversarial, it would be noteworthy. It would be something worth celebrating. Which is weird, because back when the press was actually adversarial to the White House, specifically during the Trump administration, Trump didn't go to the White House Correspondents' Dinner, which might be the way it should be. Not this year. Nerd Prom, as the Beltway gang calls it, had everything. President Biden, the White House press corps celebrating their independence from the White House. You can see all the applause. Celebrities galore, plus fawning coverage of the entire evening by the media itself.
It was my first time there.
And what'd you think?
Convinced me to go. Nerd
Here's
Prom
our picture.
in full effect.
Us together on the red carpet.
I had a total ball.
It gave the audience a chance, permission to laugh, and from there, he was indeed funny. White House aides, they were very pleased with how yesterday went.
The comedy of the evening was, so I haven't been, I think I've been one other time to this, and I was sitting next to Alyssa, and I said, Alyssa, is this normal? She goes, this was exceptional.
It's a bunch of really, really smart people.
It's really smart people. I call it the Met Gala, but for people who read. Yeah. And
Kelly Ripa's not a journalist. It was that was probably the best joke that was there. You know, this is Colby Hall with us now, founding editor of Mediaite. And this is what I picked up on. White House aides were pleased with how it went. Why shouldn't the press be ashamed of themselves?
Well, I think part of that is the soft bigotry of low expectations of President Biden. You know, he's 80, he's old, and his ability to speak off the cuff and present without, you know, sort of a stuttering problem has been reported. And, you know, he delivered material clearly provided for him pretty well. So, you know, we've seen this before. We saw George W. Bush with debates back in the day, that everyone expects him to do so poorly, and he does okay, and it's a win. I will take some issue, though, with the entire weekend. I didn't go to the dinner. You know, this is the annual conference of the journalism industry, and if you were to judge every industry, say even the pipe fitters, by the behavior at a conference, you wouldn't like that industry. So there's clearly some, not hypocrisy, but there's a distinction between the mission of celebrating the First Amendment, and in this year it was journalists in peril overseas, which is we should laud. But to celebrate that with baubled jewelry and black tie and fawning celebrities is kind of gross.
Well, you're not really celebrating it, right? I mean, if you really want to talk about journalists overseas, you don't just do it on one night. You cover Austin Tice on a weekly basis and make a point about it, which is something no news organization, and by the way, guilty as charged ourselves, are willing to do. Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.